Well, we got quite a bit more snow, but now it's turned to rain, which is making it very heavy. Hello. Frustrating. Okay. Stuck. Okay. Trying to get into the sugar shack here to get some stones for the paper whites. So in here, at least we neatened it up a bit so I can walk around. I've actually pulled in a little wheelbarrow here with some plants in it that I never got planted. I'm hoping this will work as a type of a little greenhouse to keep them going. Actually, the lavender seems to be doing pretty darn good in here. But I think the stones are over here. I do see them. Okay. Oh boy. I'll probably just bring in one bag. I'm gonna grab these items also, so that I can put them on either side of the door now that the Christmas greens are gone. Oh yeah, get a little bit tight. And now the stones. Okay. Thinking that should be enough for the 7 bulbs I have. Oh, I also wanted those 2 pots over there because I need my champagne buckets for said champagne this weekend, and I think the topiaries, the rosemary topiaries, will fit in those. So I'm going to be making a couple trips. I am just getting ready to give this room a really good cleaning. And I'm also going to try moving the furniture around a little bit just to see. Now, I know down the road we're going to get some new items of furniture. This was a consignment piece that has worked out really, really well. But we're possibly looking at an L-shape leather sectional or a leather sofa that's really cozy. I used to have one as a kid. You kind of like slide off, and I don't want that anymore. But, and I love these swivel chairs, but they would need to be recovered. And recovering is sometimes more expensive than getting new. But I don't want to get rid of them because if we do this addition with the barn and Ben's office, you never know. These could be used down the road. So right now I'm just going to, like I said, give this room a really good cleaning, moving everything off the carpet, giving it a good vacuum, and just kind of play with the room and see if I can make it look a little bit different for the new year and make it kind of cozy. I have a few things to put away still, like parts of my vacuum, but I have the room done up a bit just for our gathering. I've pushed back the furniture so we have space for gathering here if needed. I have brought in another chair in the room. But over here, when I set up to pour for the tasting, I have the rosemary trees still in the champagne buckets from Christmas, and look how well they're doing. They actually need a trim. I am so thrilled because I have killed them every single year. I always killed them. And now that I found the trick, they're doing so well, and they need a trim. But the fact that I need at least one of the champagne buckets, I'm hoping that the pot that's inside will fit the beige pots that I just brought in from the Sugar Shack, and then I'll probably put them back near the window. But I like how this looked, but that's okay. In this case, form follows function. Over here, I have this compote dish. I'm going to put saltine crackers in it so that we can cleanse our palate after we have our meal. And if anybody's interested in knowing about these I'm going to pronounce it the way I heard it from the Scottish man who created these, Glencairn, I believe it said. Now these are specifically for whiskey and bourbon. I'm going to use them for the tasting though. And I thought they were very pretty. I picked them up. And here I have a dropper. I'm going to have some water because with bourbon, you do one drop of water for a tasting to help open up and make everything bloom. I'm learning so much, but I have a long way to go. But I'm looking forward to this. And like I said, I was going back to the saltines. I think maybe I already said it. It's to cleanse the palate in between. I'm so tempted to have everybody take a bite and then whistle. Remember doing that as a kid? Yeah, that probably wouldn't go well. But the room is definitely a lot better than it was. I still have some boxes left over, and I'm organizing the kitchen right now as well. Finally got the porch cleaned up quite a bit. I have some items being kept here versus inside for our little party. But I cleaned up this area. I believe I've shown you that we brought the chairs out here. And I needed a little more lighting because this actually is warm enough in the morning to sit out here and watch the snow or whatever. So I have even the plant holder here. I just put a pewter plate on top for the lamp because it was a little bit too big for on top of the hutch there. And as you saw earlier, I brought in these and put the topiary balls back on top. And I was going to paint these and whatnot, and I actually was thinking of doing the inside grills black and maybe the center of the door. I really like that look, but if this is all getting remodeled with the barn, because we are going to be attaching, I don't want to do too much more work. I'm already kind of bumming out that we did the clapboards on the outside and some of it might be removed. I don't know. Ben's talking about doing the inside of the porch over. We just did the clapboards here. So my hopes are that maybe there'll just be a roof extension to have a porch and then somehow connected. The talk or discussion is that the door would be somewhere here to go to the garage. So I don't want to do that much more work here because then it might be undone. But yeah. Just hindsight, we weren't thinking about attaching the house to the garage, so we went ahead and did all of this work. I don't know if we'll be, what we'll be doing. So anyways, and I finally have the kitchen cleaned up a bit. Willow is watching me outside. I have the pulled pork going right now. It smells really good. I hope it works out. I never know when I create a recipe what it's going to taste like, but we'll see. The house looks very bare without the Christmas. I know many of you understand that. I don't understand the reasoning because it's just like it was before, but I am in the less accessory mode right now. So the house is a little bit emptier than previous homes. Here in the dining room, let me turn on some lights here, or a light. Where the tree was, I ended up just doing a quick little display. I used a very large cloche. I have it on top of the Lazy Susan, and I put a reproduction oil painting under the cloche. There's an old inkwell that was found out in the backyard dump. And then I have a sand dollar, a piece of wood, and some of the seashells. Just trying to kind of give it the maritime feel. Now, I don't know when, so it's gonna have to be just keep checking if some are interested, but I have quite a few different style reproduction oil paintings coming in. That's one of the surprises I had. I don't know when they're coming, but I have quite a few of those. And I wanna show you what else is coming in. And once again, I'm not going to be able to save any. It's gonna be first come, first serve. I do have more of the pheasant mugs coming in. I also have other types. I got some fox, I have some, I think, deer coming in, some large cups, small, and you might be noticing the light. I ended up putting the Amazon lights on the inside here. Just a little bit of adhesive. Wanted a little extra light. Now in person, the light is more of a warm glow. I'm noticing in this, it's more of a cooler look. Let me turn down the under cabinet lights here. But when I do, they flicker. Let me just shut those off, see if I can show you more. Yeah, it's so funny. I'm looking at the screen of the phone and it looks almost blue. But in person, it's a nice, cozy, warm color. Here's my remote. Let me just show you from here. I showed this last year when I got it, and I could do all different colors. We can do green. Let me see, we get so both. We can do purple. How about red? Orange. Oh, it doesn't look very orange in the camera. And let's see. We can do blue, aqua. It's fun, you know, for the holidays. But then I can go back to the different whites. So those look more of the blue. There we go, change that. And I can also do them so that they're brighter. But when they're bright, I feel they're too bright. Now on the camera, it doesn't look that bad, but it's just fun. It's just for fun. I'm gonna turn them down again. And I can put these on a timer also. So those are all the way down. So yeah, I'm having fun with those just to give a little life. I thought I would do a little walk around and show you some things that I'm hoping to do in 2024 and most likely going to 2025. So I'm gonna take off my boots, take off my coat, and then we'll do a little walk around tonight and then a little bit tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. I'm looking at things and I can't believe a year has passed already. So I'm gonna even say some might go into 2025 because I'm gonna blink and it's gonna be there already. It's realistic. So here in the kitchen, I still have all of the trim and the windows to paint a second time. I still have not painted the ceiling. It has just some sheetrock spackling on it. Part of it's white, part's cream. I have that to do. And same with over here. All of this woodwork is still just primed white. It's going to, oh, now Willow's gonna eat her dinner. It's going to be the river white, which is this color here. Still thinking about doing some sort of wallpaper on this side of the kitchen or something different. Still need a fixture for here. This was a temporary Home Depot special. And I do want to get my official island here. I'm still trying to find one out and about thrifting. If not, I might have to either try to make one. Excuse the nom 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 going on over here. I want to get one that's a little bit counter height with a shelf below. And then I think I will have a light fixture put right over the center because I wasn't thinking that I would have something here, but I believe having a light fixture. So this could even be just a recessed light and then a chandelier of some sort here. And I actually have one that might work. So that's it in the kitchen here. Mainly painting, a lot of painting, and figuring out what I'm gonna do on the walls. Now in the dining room, I could live with it here, but you can't tell in the photos. Actually, you kind of can here. The paint colors from previous owners are a little bit different. The fireplace mantel's a little bit lighter than the doors. I kind of like the door color. It's a little bit richer and darker. I believe this is oil paint. So if I were to match all this, which I want to do, I'll have to prime everything and paint it, because there are areas here in the room that they never really went over a second coat. I know this lighting's bad. I'm sorry. Probably should have done this in the morning, but Ben is flying home tonight from San Francisco, and I know he'll be sleeping and then working all day, so I just wanted to have the house to myself, nice and quiet. So in here is mainly painting the trim, and I might get like a seagrass area rug in here, but I really love seeing these over 200-year-old floors. I really do. And I really love seeing my vacuum just sitting here on the floor with a piece of tree. But I'm leaving that out because I'm going to be vacuuming the whole house tomorrow, and I left it there from when I was finishing some of my work. So that's pretty much in here too, is freshening up this trim, but this would be the last because it's not a necessary. This is also a last. I've mentioned this before. I'm not loving the wallpaper I did. I'm not joking. I selected this while I was on my painkillers from my rotator cuff surgery, and it's not my favorite. I thought it was a soft sage green. It's more of a duck egg blue, and I'm just not loving it. So this will be something down the road I'm going to change as well. And here, I think one of my light bulbs is out. Yep, one light bulb out. And I'm moving things around also. I'm trying something else over the bed, so I have things just hanging about, so I have to get a light bulb. So I now call this the green room, and obviously need more lighting, but I'm trying to figure out what color I'm gonna do in here. Nice sofas. Oh, Willow's pillows. This sofa is actually a very odd green, and whatever I do for the walls, it's gonna have to work. I'll try to do another daytime video for sure. But this room's never really been touched other than when I fixed the mantle, it was peeling the brown paint. So I repainted that and primed it. But that's, need a new rug in here. I purchased this wreath while I was out thrifting the other day. This is made new from an artisan, and it's to look like feathers, but it's 3 different types of paper. We have a tissue paper that has some lettering, white. There's also some harder cardstock paper, and maybe it's just the 2 textures. Oh, and then there's also almost like, I'm gonna say, paper from paper bags or brown paper wrapping paper. So just the 3 different textures, I don't know, it kind of drew my eye and I really liked it. And it can work in almost every room here in the house. The color is way off with this right now. I thought it would be only fair to come out in the daytime, and this is morning. So I'm going to add a few more accessories to the hutch here, but just adding a touch of winter. I'm going to add a few more pine cones into the faux rosemary there. I had a basket of pine cones here, and then I brought it into the library, and then I just brought it into the bedroom. But let me show you, I put the painting back up in the bedroom. I'm going to take a walk through the kitchen. I do like waking up to a fairly clean kitchen. I have some dishes still in the sink, and I just pulled pork back out of the cooler and gonna warm it up and start shredding it again. It's ready to shred now, but I just want to let it soak up some more of the juices before I do. And let's see. And I still have my drying rack in here. I used it to dry some of my linen napkins, my cotton napkins, and I might even leave it in here. It works out wonderful. I use it all the time. noticed I forgot my kissing ball. Now what I just did this morning is I had to raise the nail because the painting was too low now with the larger pillows. So I raised that. You know, I like it, but I'm still, now that I had the mirror up there, I might do something a little different and bring that back to the bathroom. I'm not sure yet. Over here in the cabinet, I still have a lot to do, but I started to think I'm gonna display it with things that I need, but also make it look pretty. So up here, I rolled up our comforter, our little coverlet there, with a brown ribbon with the wire edge, and I tucked one of my lavender wands in there. I'm gonna bring a few more books, I think, here, bring in some more of my perfumes, and then down below, I have some folded sweaters. I needed a functional space for those until I rearrange my closet. And when I mean rearrange, it really means that I'm going to be on the hunt for a longer dresser for this area, but I want it low, somewhat like desk height low. So it's going to be a hunt and peck type of situation while I'm out thrifting and consignment shopping. Now over here, I still have this champagne colored tree out because I was trying to replace, let me see, where is it here? I was trying to replace the fuse on the back, and I pushed the fuse in too far by accident. I don't know if you can see that there. I've pushed the fuse in too far, so I just need to get some really tiny needle nose pliers because what I have here did not work. These were not small enough. I even was trying hair clips. So, right tool for the right job. And then I'll move that basket. I even brought one of my very favorite artworks here in the bedroom right now on an easel because I can't find a wall big enough for it. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but it has a lot of the mushrooms, the blacks. There's a blue coat here on the gentleman with the cow, the grays, the greens. I just really loved all of the colors. And this is Boston. So it touched my heart when I saw that as well. This was also a consignment find from a couple years back. One of the things I absolutely definitely have to do here is paint the walls or wallpaper. And let me come up and give you a closer view. They're still primed. I have 2 coats of primer on here and the blue still came through, and it was a light, very light blue. Now I showed in a video, actually it was the last video, the dusty rose, the dusty purple, but when I was watching one of my old videos, and I'm gonna link it below because it shows how I pair a lot of patterned wallpapers together with items in a room, or inspiration pieces, I should say. And one of the inspiration pieces was the color here of the buffalo check and a blue. And I really like, there's so many blues that I love. And this is almost like a dusty denim blue, which also looks beautiful with this, also looks beautiful with the green accents. And then I was looking at another video of our Groton house, and the bathroom paint color is probably very close to what I like. So I'm going to pull one of the samples of that color. If I don't have it, I'll have to go get one and see what it looks like in this room. Now I have southern facing windows, which gives a warmer light, but I also have my northern facing windows, but not as many, that cast more of a blue light. And if you see my catch-all chair pile here, there's laundry hiding under that blanket. Didn't hide very well. But I'm looking at that blue to kind of work with the different lighting that we have in the room, plus the LED lights from above. And then I'm going to look at some wallpaper ideas, and I really want to get this room done absolutely before summer. This is on my goal list. But I'm not going to make this a hard, steadfast promise to myself because I know I'm busy and I'm trying not to get to that mode where I'm not enjoying what I do. Here's back to the green room I was showing last night. Pile has not moved. I don't know why the decorating fairy didn't show up last night while I was sleeping, but that mirror really looked nice over the bed with, I would say, some larger candle sconces, or I can envision a really large round mirror over that bed. So that's also what I'm going to be looking for. I love how the light comes in over that door. I'm going to need some accessories, but once again, this room color is going to change. I do like it, but it's just not where I wanted to go for this room. And here is a better view of the wreath, and from the heater on the floor, the feathers are actually moving, which is kind of fun. I'm also going to try this on the kitchen door. Maybe let's carry that in right now. Let's try that. I'm still in my bathrobe, which is also that taupey color I like, and Ben actually bought that for a Christmas present. And I'm walking towards this. Once again, the colors that I like kind of matches my robe. One Christmas present I forgot to mention the other day when I was sharing them is my son bought me a jewelry sonic cleaner, and that is also a very useful gift because I bake and cook with my rings on, and sometimes I need to clean it a bit. So I'm going to move this out. I had it here hanging before, and then this wreath does look pretty on the door in the green room, which we lovingly call it. If I change the color, I don't know if I'll change the name. Willow's getting a drink. I think I'll leave that just for a change for the next few days. Why not? Now let's take this back, and I'm going to put it in the dining room. Oh, and you can get a much better view of what I did here in the cloche. Just playing with things. I really didn't know where to put the cloche other than getting it back out into the sugar shack, and I didn't want to go out there. Let's take a step back and see. Yeah, I think I'll leave that there for now. And then in the daylight again is the wallpaper I mentioned. Pretty, but I thought it was going to be a sage green. It's not. It's hard to tell in this lighting. It's more of a duck egg blue, and I'm just not loving it, but I'm not going to change that right now because it's in great shape, of course. It's only been up a year, and this is what I did with one arm, for those of you who remember. And you can hang wallpaper with one arm. I proved it. And let's see. Zigzagging around the house, I know. Back into the library. I'm going to show you, this room has not been touched at all by us. So I'm going to be changing the paint color for sure. This bed, though I love it, it really doesn't fit the space. So I might get something that has lower, like a cannonball bed. I could see that in here, so I can center it here in the room. 2 owners ago, they had 2 twin beds in here, and it looked great. But we have couples that stay here sometimes overnight, so I just wanted to make sure that that was a space that worked for them. Down here, we brought in one of the desks from Ben's family's house and an old chair. Now this room, I don't have a lot to do. It was already this color. I believe it is called Soot. I found the can in the basement. You can see I have Glitzen on the wall still here. I'm going to leave it for a while. The only thing I envision doing here is the walls are a semi-gloss, and I think I want to do more of a flat or even maybe a textural, use the same paint color because it does show everything up when the sun hits it. This room also seemed to have either a lot of water damage, or when they pulled off wallpaper, it might have just really pulled off all of the plaster that was here. But everything else I do like. And over here, I've got my boxes of all the different scents that I've been mixing and blending for new candle scents, potpourri, reed sticks, you name it. This is something that I'm hopefully going to get done for the new year. And I'm talking to some companies about making these up for us once I come up with the signature scents. I don't think I have anything to do in the butler's pantry other than I may still, this light works fine, but I wanted something a little bit more fun, you know, maybe a vintage crystal light of some sort, but everything is too long, so it works for now. I just have to change the bulb out because for some reason, even the LED bulb, it keeps flashing. I'm sorry, I don't like LED bulbs at all. I don't like the cast of light they give. Even if I do the warm, I don't like the flickering. It's not my favorite. And then here I cleaned up everything. I have a spaghetti squash ready to roast. I love doing that. You need pretty much a chainsaw to get those open. I have some rolls here for our sliders that I'll be doing. But I just replenished some dates. I'm constantly in the date jar. When I have a sweet tooth, I go for those, and I like my pistachios. But I'll be bringing in, next month, the bunnies. And these two little vases are from Martha Stewart's studio at one point. I don't know if it was in a photo shoot, in the magazine, in her home, I have no idea. But those were from one of the auctions of her items. But that's what I've done here so far. Cleaned up. Oh, see the lights flickering there. But I have been pretty much focusing on trying to get the house organized so that I can focus on these projects. Like I said, painting the ceiling, which couldn't see last night. This will be one of the first things I do. I want to get this kitchen done and painting around the window, selecting what I'll do. I might even do beadboard, or the wallpaper beadboard looks good, and this doesn't get a lot of hits, so it shouldn't dent if I wanted to do the wallpaper beadboard temporarily. But like I said, I have been focusing on getting the house in order. I haven't even reopened the online store yet. Still doing last year inventory. I want to make sure I have the correct count for my taxes. And I actually needed a little break from the store. I'm not going to fib. It was a little bit time consuming. I loved every single minute of it. But doing everything at 100% just was a little bit too much. So I have to figure out my percentages of what I'll be doing for the business. Over here, sometimes I come up with really odd ideas because I don't have a place for things. Now I have a lot of these cloches, I have stands. Inside there is, let me see if I get that to focus, is a frog for flowers. And I stuck in some silver plated knives and sugar tongs that were tucked in a drawer. And I figured it's a lot prettier to have them out and about. So I mixed some of the silver, the aluminum, crystal, and the ironstone. Why not? I had to come back in the tavern just to put some clothes away, and I'm going to be leaving out my ladder for now because I'm gonna have to get some glassware out, and I can't reach up past the first glass in, so that's gonna be a challenge. And over here, I still have a doom basket. For those who don't know what a doom basket is, doom, D-O-O-M, didn't organized, only moved. And these are things that I picked up, I don't know where to put them, like a neck massager that I got for Ben, and it's just a bunch of other things. So today I will slowly find their places, because that's another thing I've been doing. I'm going around, going through my doom boxes, putting things away where they're supposed to go. And then I'm also, when I'm picking things up, instead of putting them in said doom boxes or baskets, I'm putting things away. So it's taking me a little longer because I'm doing those extra steps. So I'm trying to retrain myself. At 58, I don't know how that's gonna go, but we're gonna try. Oh, I didn't even realize, yes, this room, things to be done. I'm looking at it here. I have woodwork to finish. I left it undone. I even have some wallpaper to fix because when they put these cabinets in, let me say I can now say last year, but it was into last year. I didn't finish the room. So I have wood tucked behind the door here that I will be putting up, and I will be also doing some wallpaper. I forgot to mention something here in the dining room, but while I'm here, I just thought I would show you I'm pre-setting up where I'm going to be putting food for our gathering tomorrow if another storm doesn't prevent it from happening. But I'm going kind of with a pewter, silver, and the aluminum vibe here. And I decided to move it in here versus the kitchen just to have it a little more cozy and intimate. We're going to have the fireplace is all going, and then what I forgot to share over here is I'm also going to be looking for a nice long sideboard that's a little thinner with 2 wall sconces so that this piece can go back into the tavern, very similar to like I had at Groton House. I really liked the look of this against the wallpaper and the wood trim and the paint. So sideboard, wall sconces are also in the future for this room. Well, kindred spirits, Willow and I have some things to do. I'm going to let you go for this week, and I hope you enjoyed that very casual tour of things that I want to get done in the house. There's a lot more to do, like I said, but it's been busy, and I'm going to make this year about me, and I'm going slower, more deliberate in my moves, and I'm not going to rush when it comes to getting things done in the house, other than getting all the nose prints off the window. Willow Davis.